I really enjoy this one. I really enjoy this one. I don't think I liked it too much the first time I watched it, but I think I've watched it twice since then. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I really enjoy this. It still has the issue with the jump scares. The problem with the jump scares are they're not like cheap jump scares. Like what was the best cheap jump scare I could think of is Silent Hill Revelations.
Oh my gosh, you picked video game one.
Well, it's a horror thing, but like the second movie, they literally like nothing is happening and it cuts to toast coming out of a toaster as a jump scare.
Or like a dog barking or something like that.
Yeah, that I hate.
Okay.
I like what he does here with like the slow build up and stuff, but
it's
like
so good.
But then he overdoes it with the jump scare part. I'm like, no, I'm like, it was good. Like, it's hard. Exorcist 3 has the best jump scare of all time.
It does.
Yes. And I feel like James Wan always gets close. Oh. He always gets close. And he just goes a little too goddamn loud on the jump scare.
He's great. So the first time I watched this, what got me out of it took me out of it a little bit was just guess which part. Like why it wasn't my favorite.
The Nun? I don't...
The Crooked Man.
The Crooked Man, yes.
It didn't do it for me the first time because it was too...
I got issues with The Crooked Man.
Not real for me, I think.
Yeah,
But I want to hear about, because you were mentioning that why isn't it happening?
I don't know. I guess whatever. Well, now there's new ownership of Warner Brothers and whatnot.
It's really because there's already been one.
No. I don't think that's it. I think it's just because there's new ownership of Warner Brothers. Maybe they're like, hey... let's not go forward with this right now because I don't know if you're aware of like Warner Brothers is a shit show right now. They're pulling plugs on different projects. They're canceling things. Mm-hmm. They had a Batgirl movie ready to go and they went nah.
And Brendan Fraser was a part of that.
Yeah, but he's in a bunch of other things right now. So
I know, nominated.
If that was the only Brendan Fraser movie coming out, I'd probably be sad. I'm like, no, he's in others. I love that they asked Michael Keaton because he was in it. As Batman, they're like, how do you feel about Batgirl being canceled? He's like, I don't know, probably a good idea. He just didn't care. He's like, I don't give a fuck, guys.
He's moved on. Okay, so we don't know.
Yes. So anyway.
That stinks.
Yeah, we don't know why. But Conjuring 2, I enjoy this one way more. I like the family way more. I feel sorrier for the mom in this.
Oh, I know.
Oh, wait. We forgot.
Oh, the synopsis.
Yes, I'll read this one.
Okay. British accent.
Returning director. I gotta do it with a British accent. Don't let me do it. Everyone hates my British accent.
I've never heard it.
In 1977,
that's good.
Paranormal investigators Ed Patrick Wilson and Lorraine Bloody Warren, I had it up blood, come out of a self-imposed sabbatical to travel to... It always turns into Australian. Yes. It's Cockney British and Australian.
Like Long Island or something.
Northland. I'm not doing the accent. There they meet Peggy Hodgson, an overwhelmed single mother of 4 who tells the couple that something evil is in their home. Ed and Lorraine believe her story when the youngest daughter starts to show signs of demonic possession. As the Warrens try to help the besieged girl, they become the next targets of a malicious spirit. So we forgot to mention, in Conjuring 1, there is a flashback to like an exorcism that they did with a guy, Maurice, I think it was his name, that scared Lorraine, and she hid for like 8 days. Yeah. So that kind of comes back in this. I like the family in this. I like the mom. She was in that Haley Joel Osment movie, the Spielberg one, AI. She was really good in that. You don't like AI? You don't like AI?
No, from what I remember.
You know, it's not aliens at the end, right? People think it's aliens.
I don't remember. I've only seen it once, and it was so boring. I saw it when I was young.
People think that's aliens at the end. It's not aliens. They're technically robots. But anyway.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
I don't know. Something about this just works for me way more.
I think it's fantastic.
It is really, really good.
I think it's got a lot of meat in it. Like, it's just like a really hearty film.
Yeah, and there's stuff that you can go back to. Like with the Nun. Do you know the Easter eggs with the Nun?
Oh, yeah. Well, the blocks.
Yes.
Why do they have blocks?
That's a good question.
So there's blocks?
Yeah. There's a couple things. So the whole, I don't know if you know this about demons, if you believe in that stuff, but apparently like if you name them, there was another movie that did this, The Right with Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, I love The Right.
Alice Braga from Predators. They had a whole thing where like we have to figure out the demon's name and then we can control it. So yeah, the demon, there's hints at the nun's actual name throughout the film that you have to look for. So what is it? It starts off with Amityville.
It starts with Amityville, yeah.
Which again, Ronald DeFeo was just, a crazy tweaked out guy that wanted his family's inheritance, who kept changing it. I was looking up, like, he died 2 years ago.
Whoa.
He kept changing his story constantly. He's like, mafia hitmen killed my family.
I think because Amityville's been done so many times, I don't like.
Well, also you can't. You could do any Amityville thing. You just can't be an adaptation of that book. So that's why they danced around it in the movie. They didn't make it all about Amityville. But
they did do that case. Like, they were part
They
of
did
it.
do that case, yes. My dream video, and it'll never happen now because he's dead. Aww. I really wanted to go to the prison where Ronald DeFeo Jr. was and just read him the plot synopsis to all the Amityville horror movies and just see his reaction. And I'll be like,
short film.
Huh?
You should make a short
film. I wanted to be like, okay, so Amityville dollhouse. And it'll be like, what? Did I have a dollhouse? Like, no, it's just a dollhouse that looks like your house. And apparently demons are in.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it starts off with there. She gets the vision of the nun. And she knows something bad is going to happen to Ed. So she's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
We're out.
That is love.
But then in foggy London town, some ghost is bothering these little girls. He's like, what are you doing in my house? Get out of here.
Yeah. Was it because she had the fake Ouija board?
I guess you invite a spirit in with the Ouija board. Did I tell you the Ouija board story I have with my mom?
I don't want to know.
No, my mom, she's like terrified of Ouija boards.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
So she's like, I don't want a Ouija board in my house. So I went to Five Below and I got a knockoff. I got a knockoff Ouija spelled differently. I'm like, Mom, it's spelled completely different.
It doesn't matter.
It's spelled completely
It doesn't matter if you write it down on a piece of paper. You can invite something in.
It's
true.
You know what? I'm gonna find that Ouija board.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna invite I'm gonna be like, hey everyone, hey, you know what's gonna happen?
We're gonna get attacked.
No, if a demon doesn't show up, then I'm gonna feel really bad about myself. Like, wow, not even.
Jesus, what do you think? What do you think, Jesus? Thank goodness he's here.
So anyway, there is one guy who, with the most unfortunate hair ever. His hair doesn't really look like that in real life. I had to look up that actor. Like, I was like, I hope his hair doesn't look like
exactly like the real guy, though.
Yeah, he does. He does. He believes the family, and then there's a skeptic played by her name's like
I don't know.
Oh God, I'm blanking on her name. But so there's a skeptic, a guy who believes them. They bring in the Warrens to investigate, and they see some weird stuff, but not enough.
But the Warrens, they don't even come in until like
they come in a little bit later.
The midpoint of the movie.
Yeah.
But like even the opening shot at Amityville.
Yeah.
Not the opening shot, but like that whole scene. There was just so much thought that was put into it. And there's just so many scenes in here that when I rewatched, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this one.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one's good.
Yeah, like I said, this has happened to me a couple times where I'll watch a movie.
Yeah.
I'll be like super into it, and then I'm like, for some reason I want to rewatch it, and then I rewatch it over and over again. Yeah. This is becoming that. What were you about to say?
But okay, so I thought Insidious 4 was this, but Insidious 3 is that the one with the guy with the breathing?
That's the one with there's like a dead mom in the beginning.
Yes. And then there's a guy with like a breathing mask. I think so. See, I keep getting I get this story and that story mixed up.
Okay.
There was a whole Horror Nights maze for that movie. Sorry. But yeah, the one thing that will always stay with me from Conjuring 2 is the TV. When the TV shuts off.
The TV, I like the reflection in the TV.
Yeah.
That's
so relatable.
That had been done in other movies.
What?
I think Ringu, the original Ring, did something similar. I did something similar.
Well,
so I did something similar.
Of course, Ringo.
No, but I mean, like when you turn the TV off and there's a reflection. I did something similar in one of my horror films that wasn't very good.
Not a nosebleed.
Huh?
Nothing.
No, I didn't do a nosebleed. That's Monday's episode. Yeah, but so let's talk about him, the Crooked Man. Now here, I get what you're saying. I think it's a cool design. I understand. It seems a little cartoonish for this. And
is he a real thing? I've never heard.
A Crooked Man is a nursery rhyme.
Oh.
And they think of the nursery rhyme that they're singing is like, it's a famous nursery rhyme. Maybe there's a ghost thing. I don't know. All I looked up, all I could find was this movie, the Tubi ripoff, and just the nursery rhyme. But there's a problem with shared universes.
Yeah.
They end up forcing things in that aren't supposed to make sense now, but so they could spin it off into their own thing.
So this was after Annabelle.
This is after Annabelle. So I think they were like, hey, throw in some stuff that we can make into their own movies later on.
Gotcha.
But he's a little confusing because he's like, yeah. So you find out the old man ghost in this house who's tormenting the kids. He's just a ghost who's visiting.
No.
Well, he wanted to visit his home, but he's not allowed to leave. So he's not like the bad guy, really.
No, he's not.
No. And then we find
controlled and used.
Yeah, and then we find out the Crooked Man is there.
I'm sorry.
But we don't know who the Crooked Man is.
Yeah, that's...
And they're like, that's just a facade that the demons do. And I'm like, okay, so is that Valak, the nun? Just... But then they wanted to make their own movie. So I'm like, was there just another demon who was like, hey, Valak, what's up?
Exactly.
I want to... Now I want
Or it was like a figment of the imagination.
Now-
But the best part was when it was the Crooked Man coming.
I did like
and then
that.
it was the girl.
Yeah, when the Crooked Man is like it starts off as the dog and it turns into the Crooked Man. And it's enhanced digitally. But there actually is a guy, a real tall, thin guy in the suit. But yeah, that is creepy where you see his shadow and then it turns into the girl and she still has the voice. That was really creepy. But yeah, I think they just threw in something weird that they could explore in another movie. But now I'm thinking like, is he dating Valak? Is he like an ex-boyfriend? And Valak's like, oh man, can you just like I broke up with you like 10,000 years ago. Like I want to help you haunt the house. I'm gonna pretend to be a ghost.
For me. Don't ruin the movie.
I'm gonna be their dog. And Valak's like, Crooked Man, get out of here. I'm like,
can we talk about Valak though?
Yes, Valak, aka the nun.
No, don't keep it. She's what haunts me at night. Like
You met her,
scares
right?
me.
Did you meet her?
Bonnie Hunt? No.
No, another person I knew in LA met her. Bonnie Hunt from I Know
Princess
Who Killed
Iris. She is in that.
And the worst comedy I've ever seen, Stuttering John's One Too Many, and many other things. Mulholland Drive, obviously, that's the big one where she was the bum. Yes, the nun is really creepy in this.
So scary, and it wasn't supposed to be that.
Well, she had a demon form.
Yeah.
Which I have here. You do see this in the movie. When they exercise her, you see it for a second, but I guess they were gonna I think they were gonna have it a little bit longer, her and the demon form. But honestly, the nun is scarier than the big goat demon. It's so
scary because they wanted to use something to like make. They wanted to use something that would. How do you even say it?
Like blasphemous, and it makes a mockery.
That was a mockery of Lorraine's faith because
Also,
she was like friends with nuns and stuff, and of course they.
Yeah, and I like that Ed. Like it's subconsciously like getting to them, and Ed is drawing like a painting of her.
Yeah, what?
Which, by the way, it's like, oh, hey, honey, I just painted like the scariest nun I've ever seen in my entire life. Can you believe it? Let's have some coffee, darling. And then she's like, Ed, I don't want to hunt ghosts anymore. It's like, oh, why not? Is that something to do with my painting of the scariest nun in the world?
But even that scene when she's walking in the room and then her fingers come out of there.
Yeah, okay, that scene is done really, really well.
Beautiful.
Like, right down to like the daughter being like, who's that? And there's just the nun there. And yeah, again, with the light, you can tell it's the painting and the light goes off. And you can tell it's like her actual face there. That one's done really, really well. The shadow walking over the painting.
I'm getting chills.
I like all that. And then it sends her to Amityville for a second.
Well, Warner Brothers, we did a horror made here event.
Yeah.
So we had like mazes like in Universal. So I definitely encourage you to look up the Conjuring maze because they recreated that whole scene and it's amazing.
I really liked the nun in this, and I like that she's like pulling the strings because it's interesting because they find out that like the girl was faking one of the things, so the whole investigation gets thrown out. And
she had to.
Yeah. No, I get why, but I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and it's like, oh, it was like a twist. So good. Because it was like all this ploy for the nun to take over this girl and try to kill Ed, and I thought it was really, really well done.
Yeah, I was like, why did they make this one so good?
It's like, really good. It's way so better than the first one.
Like I kind of think that.
Yeah, if this had been
after watching it,
if this had been the first one, I still would have been like, yeah, but they were con artists in real life. But this was so entertaining that I put aside my personal feelings about the real people, and I'm like, this is spot on. And again, the nun is really creepy. A very, very good character.
Yeah, she's scary.
Very scary. I felt bad for the old man ghost.
Oh, I know.
He's like, I just wanted to hang out in my chair one last time.
It's so scary.
Yeah. Although
he was the scariest part.
Although if he wasn't like such a bad guy, he probably shouldn't have screamed and yelled as much.
He was so loud.
Okay, so explain to me. I went to Catholic school and everything.
Yes.
I don't remember reading, like, so the demons, I get that they want our souls and everything.
Yeah.
But other than that, are they just happy just screaming and throwing things around? Like, every single demon in these movies, they're like, blah!
I know, that's what I was, like, thinking.
Like, I'm just like, okay.
Well, they're not sure. Some of them aren't strong enough. Like, if you're strong in faith, I mean.
But if I'm like a demon, like, after 4 or 5 times, like, yeah, I get it, you're the nun.
It's a movie. Just have fun with it.
But, like, I feel like I'd be more annoyed.
You don't feel more like I need to pray after these movies?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm sorry.
Gosh. I'm like, thank God I'm baptized.
I don't need to pray. I live with Jesus, apparently. Shout out to the fan who sent me the giant 6-foot stuffed Jesus with noodle legs. The noodle legs really upset me the most. I like that I sent you the text like months ago. I'm like, this thing keeps scaring me. You're like, Tony, Jesus shouldn't scare you. I'm like, Casey, it doesn't look like Jesus. It looks like I have a noodle leg man in my house.
You should fear him, though.
I should.
You should.
But yeah, no, sorry. I maybe none 2 will finally send me back to church. I'll let you know.
Yeah, we gotta talk.
I'll call you and be like, Casey, this is the one that did it. I'm going right away. But yeah, and there's a lot of heart in this one. I really like the Warrens more than I did in the first one.
Totally.
With the Elvis song.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that was one of the best jokes. When the mom's like, yeah, my husband, he had twins with the girl down the street. Mm-hmm. And he's like, he took the music when he left. And he's like, I know it feels like that when somebody. She's like, no, he literally took all of the records.
Yeah, that's beautiful that he thinks that way.
Yes, it's very.
I just remember something I was going to say about Conjuring.
Okay.
So my sister loves these movies, like huge Conjuring fan. Her wedding song is totally going to be, what is it?
The Ryan Reynolds song or the
no
the Elvis song?
The Elvis song, yeah.
Can't help falling in love with you.
So totally gonna be that from Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
Conjuring was the movie that she always showed like her dates, like to test it. So mine was Hatchet. What is yours? Do you have one that you would just show dates? Same movie.
Like maybe like in high school and stuff, I would maybe put The Thing on, but
okay.
I don't have just.
Of course, The Thing.
I don't have like one movie. Well, yeah, The Thing and Alien is like the ultimate test for like a girlfriend. I'm like, you kind of have to like these, or I will murder you.
All horror guys love The Thing and Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, because not a lot of women in those.
Jesus.
Well, The Thing, there's not any of them in there. It's like, yeah, this is how men would react to this.
Okay, well, I was curious. I want to know yours, too. But yeah, love Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
It's also a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it kind of is a Christmas movie. I like that they moved it to England, and that was pretty cool. There's a real 70s vibe with the film stock in the beginning.
Yeah, I love how at the end of these movies they always show the real thing.
Yeah, they show like the real recordings. But yeah, because that was the thing.
How do you not believe?
Well, another reason I don't believe is because it was totally a hoax.
No, it wasn't.
But they show the girl jumping, and like even the movie had to call it out. They're like, we can't if we show this picture at the very end of the movie, they're like, oh, well, obviously that was fake. So we have to have the characters point it out and be like, yeah, it looks like they're jumping because that's what they did. It was fake. It's fine.
I haven't read much into it, but I don't think it was fake.
Well, here's the spoiler. Most ghosts are fake.
They're not ghosts, though. They're demons.
Okay, yes. Well, by the way, the whole demon stuff was added for the movie. That wasn't in the true story.
Yes, it is. Now I'm mad.
Did Lorraine Warren talk about Valak the nun?
Not Valak, like not those demons, but it's totally.
No, they interacted with spirits, so they claim and whatnot. But like the specifics are all made up for the movie.
Right.
Yeah. Is there anything to say about that? Okay. Yeah. So Conjuring 2, great sequel. Great sequel. Better than the first. And they're like, okay, good job. Now we got to get back to Annabelle.